Hello my friends and welcome back. It is the second battle of Kharkov. Deployment episode, of course. We have to tidy up our affairs after the last mission in the peninsula, but not by much. So pretty simple here, restock our infantry. These paratroopers are no longer going to be useful. Let's unassign them, repair and shuffle them away. Okay, alright. Let's make repairs on this artillery. Let's make repairs on this recon car. Now, looking at our tank situation, we have 30, I want to say 35, 25 Porsche Tigers in reserve, with probably more to come in the future. And then we have uh 40 something, 46 T-34-40s left over. The key thing here being that the T-34-40 is the best tank that only costs 3 slots. Now the question is, which tanks do we want to repair? Because here's the thing. I was using my repair hero to keep these Italian rapid fire 2X machine gun anti-air going because it was just really useful. But the thing is, now I have a camo hero for it, and I also gained those 2 anti-air heroes that also have rapid fire 2X. And here's the thing. I'm going to shrink this. I'm going to shrink this down a little bit as well. The main strength of this is that it comes with rapid fire 2X built in. That is the main strength of these small anti-aircraft guns, because they do, you know, effectively they do the same damage. Now, what's the best way of putting it? They are equally damaging usually to aircraft and dive bombers, to fighters and dive bombers, because they have access to their close defense stat. And they can't damage strat bombers really. Whereas these strategic anti-aircraft guns sort of do damage to all aircraft equally. But the main weakness of these strategic anti-aircraft guns is that they only get a limited number of attacks. So they get 10 attacks. And because they've got the suppressive trait normally, the best you can do is 8 suppresses and 2 kills. Now with anti-aircraft veteran, the best you can do is 3 suppresses and 7 kills, which is much better. But since these guys have picked up rapid fire 2X, they are now more than capable of completely devastating enemy aircraft without any assistance. I mean, the key benefit of this was with rapid fire 2X, these small caliber ones are very able to bring down fighters and dive bombers, or completely suppress them without much investment. But now these guys are in a position to take over thanks to the rapid fire 2X. So it's no longer such a huge priority to try and keep this high grade anti-aircraft gun in one piece. And to be honest, camouflage will keep it, will protect it for the most part anyway. So, with that in mind, we have several repair heroes to use. Now, at the moment, the repair heroes are on these 2 Porsche Tigers. Let's unassign those. The ones that are damaged have got reduced slots, and then we have double strike on the T-34-40 here, and no retaliation on this one. And these are correctly camouflaged for those roles. Now the question is, do we want to... So, I mean, one thing that we can easily do is we can just put repair on this. And repair on this. And the question is, do we want to repair either of these? Or do we just want to keep burning our T-3440s until they run out? I mean, the era of the T-3440 is coming to a close. At some point, there'll just be, you know, even though there are 3 slots, which is great value, they just won't be good enough. You know, enemy ground defense will rapidly exceed 16 as the war goes on. You can see that the ground defense of the Tiger is already 22. So as that happens, these tanks will not be able to penetrate the enemy and will become increasingly less useful. So the question is, do we want to repair them or do we just want to start converting them? And if we start converting them, do we want to put repair heroes on them to keep them going? I think for now, I mean, it's only 3 damage on each one. Let's repair these. One new unit that I do have. So if we... It's a T-3440. This is the old flame tank. The old Nubelzerg. This was a fantastic vehicle for a long time, but its stats are starting to... It's got the same defense as a recon car. You have to put readiness on it to actually get any value out of it. I think the era of this tank is starting to go past as well, and that eventually this will be converted to something else. Same with the Verdure. Verdeja. But for the moment, let's shuffle in a tank. So I do have Panzer 4Hs available as well, which are only 4 slots and have very good stats for 4 slots. So just for comparison, the 3-slot T-3440 has 5 less anti-tank capability, 1 less initiative, 2 less ground defense, and this tank also enjoys 4 close combat rating, which is about as good as it gets for tanks. I think we should deploy this as well. I'm quite happy that I've gotten so many field repair heroes because, I mean, it is very good with my limited stock to be able to constantly repair precious units. Okay, field repairs, standard camo. I can't remember which camo I'm using. It is that one. Just looks odd on this tank. Oh, I was right. It just looks weird on this tank. Okay, these are my no retaliation recon bikes. These are my recons that I'm using for anti-soft support thanks to their rapid fire. 11 soft attack is actually starting to get a bit poor as well. But unfortunately, I don't, because of my limitations on heroes. If I put those artillery support heroes on tanks, that's all they're going to be able to do. Okay, we're in a bit of a dive. We're in a bit of a rush here to get down here to help the Romanians before they get crushed. That's the mission objective. There's a massive river here which the enemy may or may not be able to cross. There's certainly no part of it that's actually crossable normally. So if they are going to cross it, they're going to need bridge engineers to do it. The fact that there's 3 bridges here kind of indicates to me that they're just going to try and hammer their way across. Right, our aircraft are already set up pretty much from last time. Oh, we've got a new multi-role. Is it better than the 109 though? Let's compare. Compare and contrast. It is not better than the 109. But it is cheaper. It is a whole slot cheaper. We don't need to go crazy on the aircraft because we've got really powerful anti-aircraft guns now. $109G. Very much inferior. Oh, I think I'm completely out of spares for the Wolf. Am I completely out of spares? No, I've got 6. But I need to be careful. Okay, I'll keep him at 12 strength. I'm weakening my air force here because I don't think it's going to be that useful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got a dirt airfield here which we can use. There's airfields here, but if the enemy is, according to the mission, the enemy is going to just dogpile the Romanians, so these airfields we probably won't hold on to them, at least not early. The nearest strategic airfield is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 tiles away from the front line. So our air force is going to struggle to be relevant for a while. Only planes that make it to the dirt airstrip are going to actually be useful. Okay, one thing that we should do is just deploy some recon planes if I've got some lying around. Here's some Storches that I bought earlier. Two, three, four, 5. Oh wow, I am actually allowed to deploy at these airfields. Is that wise? You know, if we're allowed to deploy here, we could get some work done. I mean, if they take the airfields, we just get pushed back. As long as it doesn't snow. It's not going to be any snow, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you know what? We'll take a forward deployment. Do I not have a better strat bomber than this one? I think that one used to be a recon plane that survived some stuff. Let's switch it to a different aircraft, so I'm not, you know, so I can keep calculations on what I've got. Okay, I'm actually going to strengthen my air force. If we do have frontline access. We'll use the old trick of making the airplane flower. Now, the only issue here is that I can't completely make it because this Romanian fighter plane is in the way. But we'll just deploy an extra recon plane here. Okay, 0 slots, rapid deployment, makes sense. Okay, everything makes sense. Now it's just a matter of deploying more tanks, really. So we want to go super heavy on the Air Force and like really just deploy all my Air Force and try and smash the enemy. But I don't know how much air support they've got. They've got one major airport here. They got another one here. And another one here. These two are both in range. So they could have a lot of air support. Potentially. I feel like Stewie would be good here actually, but he is very slow. I think it'll take him a very long time to get to the front line and be useful. Let's bring a few more tanks to the pie. So I've got loads of heroes lying around, but nothing exciting. Ignores entrenchment is really good. But when you can only use one hero, it's kind of a bit of a struggle. Alright, first things first, let's assign reduced slots to these Tiger. Might as well, right? Yeah, reduced entrenchment's really a great hero in combination with other heroes, but we don't have combinations, so we'll leave these at 10 strength. I could overstrength them to 15, but then I create a situation where I have to repair them at some point, potentially. Then I have to deploy a 15 overstrength Tiger with repair on, using up loads of slots. This is quite nice. If he's going to be a tank killer. See, this is where this guy could be a T40 very easily, because the weakness of the T40 is its poor anti-tank is only 16. But his anti-tank stat doesn't need to be bad with this guy. +5 takes it up to 21, same as the Tigers. Now suddenly he's a lot more dangerous. The IVG. It's the slightly inferior version of the 4H. Or the IVH, depending on how you want to say it. Let's go with Tiger. Better stats. I'll try and keep this Tiger out of trouble with no retaliation, I think. Which I do have a few lying around. I've got first strike lying around. First strike's in use, probably on one of my planes. No, I do have first strike line around. No retaliation. Offensively, no retaliation is better. First strike's good because it prevents the enemy from attacking you without taking massive damage. Let's go with first strike. Oh, he hasn't got a... I forgot to put Gallant back on him. Okay, let's put Legendary on the scout plane just for the free money. Put aim assistance on the other scout plane. So they might as well be doing something. Man, single hero... It really chafes your... it really chafes you as to what you can do. So these guys are running no retaliation so that they can pick away at the enemy without fear of being hit in return. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because it's like... Maybe I should run a couple more recon planes for safety. The old enhanced recon plane costs a bit more. Not really sure what its advantage is over the Storch, apart from the fact that it's got more defense. Oh, it's got slightly more range too. I suppose we could upgrade these. guess there's no reason to not upgrade them. But yeah, going back to the train of thought that I had earlier. If I just unassign first strike so I can show you the menu. I mean, many of these heroes are not good. But for example, Ignores Entrenchment is a fantastic hero that really enhances your ability to do damage. But as your only hero, it's not as good. Like, combined with anything that lets you shoot first, it's amazing. I mean, it's still good on its own, but it's not going to enable you to prevent damage like first strike is. And you know, readiness is same thing. It's really good defensively, but that also means you have no ability to pick away at the enemy offensively without taking return fire. I mean, in this list right now, I've got bloody Rapid Fire 1.5x sitting around, which is also an amazing hero. But you know, part of the pain of the playthrough is the limited stock means I'm deploying a lot of field repair heroes to, as best possible, prevent actual losses on rare equipment. Right, I think with the last two slots what we'll do is we'll just expand these brigades. Oh wait a minute, they don't have transport. Oh, that's weird. My brigades don't have transport. Well, that's an easy thing to fix. Okay. I think we're done. I'm tempted to take rapid deployment off these artillery, since the enemy is attacking and we are technically defending. I might be better served by making these guys more dangerous. I think we should at least use this. You know what's funny is the counter battery hero is like E grade bad. Kloss is the only hero that makes that useful. But I can't put Kloss and counter battery together, so I think this is what we're going with. First strike. You need a camo change. So I always use my camo to so I know which ones have got first strike or no retaliation. Standard camo for standard tanks. Right, these guys need camo changes as well. think I have the other one. No, it's like a weird pink color. Plain camo is different. So we're using red for double strike. Both of these guys have got double strike. Just reminding ourselves mentally that we have to attack twice with these, or we can attack twice with these. Okay, I'm only bringing 2 infantry along because this looks like a big open field battle here. This all looks relatively open. There's some forest and hills down the center line, so we do need some infantry. Just position our guys on the roads. We're not allowed to deploy anything all the way down there, are we? Nope. There's no other deployment zones or anything. Okay, let's stick our recons at the back. And our artillery. Because they can shift. Alright, pretty simple strategy really. We just take our forces. There's 33 enemies apparently. If this counter includes every enemy on the map. Annihilate both Soviet tank corps. We just take our forces here and we'll just literally just drive down the road here to get there to defend as soon as possible. And we just need to keep a casual eye on these flags. Just in case somehow the enemy gets over the river, or they've got some way of getting over the river and they start coming in this area. We will need to respond to that very quickly, if it happens. Fortunately, with our scout planes here, we should be able to... Because I think this... I don't think you can bridge this. I think lakes can't be bridged. But major rivers can. So the lake ends here, which means that you can bridge from here. Well, that's quite near my front line, so in theory I can run a recon plane up this bit and just constantly watch for a potential engineering attempt to get over the river. Worst comes to the worst, we can use our air force to try and bomb the engineers and prevent them from actually letting the units get across in the first place. I mean, this assumes that they're going to try and do that. Likewise, we've got to keep an eye on these two towns here, because this part of the river, if they've got engineers, they could get across here and then go down this way. This area is poorly defended. None of this stuff is any good. It's all low caliber trash. Yeah, one good Russian tank could probably kill all of this. This is we're garbage o'clock here. I think the best thing they've got is this 47. It's only got 16 hard attack. That's pretty bad. Okay. Alright, I guess that's it for deployment. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.